Biznation.
Good morning, this is your Biznation Bulletin with me, Henry Winter. And at the time of recording this early afternoon on the 5th of November, Joe Biden is on the brink of officially winning the US presidency, but both candidates still have a chance. After declaring victory on Tuesday evening, Trump has seen his lead in several states eroded and in some cases reversed, and Biden has since said he believes he will come through to win it. The result now rests on Georgia, Nevada, Pennsylvania and Arizona, where both candidates believe they still have a chance. Donald Trump, meanwhile, has also filed legal challenges in at least 3 states, as he believes fraud is the only explanation of him not picking up votes there. Right. The winning candidate needs 270 electoral votes.
Presidential elections in the US are not decided by popular vote. Instead, each state has a fixed number of delegates to the Electoral College, roughly corresponding to the state's population. The delegates meet in December, more than a month after the election itself, to decide the result. There are 538 electoral votes up for grabs, meaning whichever candidate can secure a majority of 270 will win.
But what does this mean for the stock markets? Well, to help us answer that, we've had a look back over the S&P 500 index across 14 prior elections dating back to 1964. Now, when a new party comes to power in a US election, stocks on average are slightly down at roughly 1%, meaning if Biden does win, we could see a downturn in the markets. On the other hand, if Trump was to remain in the White House, there's a good chance we could see double-digit stock gains after the first year. Since 1964, the average gain of the market when the incumbent president has remained in power has been just over 14%. However, 2020 has thrown us a few curveballs so far, so we suggest you strap in and prepare for anything, as who knows what's around the corner. On Wednesday the 4th of November, MPs supported Boris Johnson's new coronavirus measures by 516 to 38, gaining the majority. England has therefore entered its second lockdown, meaning pubs, bars, restaurants and non-essential shops will have to stay closed until the 2nd of December. Interestingly, this time schools and universities will be allowed to remain open, even though the NHS has been put on its highest alert level. Yesterday, Chancellor Rishi Sunak extended the furlough scheme until March. This basically means employees placed on leave will receive 80% of their pay, up to a maximum of $2,500 a month. The stock market debut of Chinese financial tech firm Ant Financial, which was set to be the biggest IPO in history, has been postponed. $37 billion of shares in Ant were set to be sold, in many cases to Chinese retail investors, but Beijing authorities have pumped the brakes at the last minute, and it could be 6 months now before we see any trading in the stock.
Before it's possible for companies to be publicly traded on the stock market, they must go through a process called an initial public offering, or IPO. This is a complex process and marks the transition from a private company, meaning management is allowed to keep many details like financial performance under wraps, to a public company which must publish information on a regular basis.
Beijing claims that Ant is not compliant with certain financial tech regulations, particularly to do with its lending procedures. Jack Ma, the founder of Alibaba, which owns a third of Ant, will be interviewed by Beijing authorities. This is sure to be a developing story over the coming weeks and months as more details emerge from the region, and we'll keep you up to date here on Biznation. More than 150 independent bookshops in the UK have joined forces to launch a new online retailer to rival Amazon in the run-up to Christmas. Bookshop.org began in America in January and has so far raised £5.8 million for stores there. The platform says it's an alternative for socially conscious shoppers. And finally, data from Apptopia shows that daily US downloads of the top 4 mobile chess apps are up 63% since the Queen Gambit debuted on Netflix. The fictional TV series is about an orphan chess prodigy, and last Wednesday it became the most watched series of the day on the streaming platform in the US. It's funny, I've actually got a job working shifts as a piece in a 24-hour human chess game. I'm on nights this week. Well, that's all your Biznation news for this week. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.
Biznation.